So let's start with the rapid fire. The first one, describe what your organization does in one sentence.
Great. You.com is revolutionizing search by reorganizing the world's data around who you are and building applications that allow you to search less and do more.
How long does it take you to get ready in the mornings?
Depends on the morning. Depends on how early the meeting is. Sometimes 5 minutes rolling out of bed. Sometimes I'll take some time to actually get my hair in order.
Most valuable skill you've learned in life?
Learn quickly by listening carefully.
In one sentence, describe one problem that your organization is facing.
Search is really broad and people search for a lot of different things, which makes traditional startup advice around focusing and finding niches particularly challenging.
How do you relax?
Exercise, walks, talks, painting, a lot of reading.
Work from home or work from office?
Well, at You.com, we're all remote, so we all work from home, but we do rent out some offices every once in a while, and I really enjoy seeing people.
How many hours of sleep can you survive on?
9.
Biggest mistake of your career?
Not taking bigger risks when the opportunities presented themselves.
How many cups of coffee do you drink in a day?
None.
The last one is, what would you be doing in life if not this?
Finding some other way to have a company that helps people live happier and more fulfilling lives.
Okay, so to the long form questions now. When was the exact moment when you thought about launching your own search engine?
Good question. There are 2 moments. One, when I met my co-founder back in 2013, and he had been hacking on a couple different demos around search, but we didn't really know how the technology could work to make it really possible. And then again, back in 2019 and 2020, when we revisited that question after AI and especially natural language processing had made some pretty marked advancements, did we understand maybe we could actually take a crack at this and use AI that actually understands better, to some extent, what people are trying to type into a search box. We could actually start to make progress on that vision from way back in the day when we first met.
So do you think a lot of other ideas around what could have been done with AI were conceived much earlier?
Absolutely. A lot of what has been the driving force behind a lot of AI research and technology development has been, I think, conceived of and imagined many, many decades ago. But the compute, hardware, the layers of abstraction we have now to make iteration really quick and easy is allowing us to really execute on some of those things and make them possible. Not all of them, but some of them are starting to feel a little different and more accessible to us now.
So going back to your past again, what were the top 3 lessons you learned working as a lead research scientist at Salesforce?
Take bigger risks, especially with your research. Find something that you think is that forces you to think on very long time horizons, and learn as quickly as possible from other people, from as much experimentation as you can, and direct all of that towards those really long-term visions and commitments to things that are ideally simple in concept, but sometimes hard to execute and make work.
So taking all 3 of these into account, what comes to your mind when you hear the phrase search engine of tomorrow? What do you think the future holds for You.com?
First thing that comes to mind is You.com. I think in the future here, we're going to see people's expectations around search change a little bit. I think for You.com especially, we want to focus on helping people actually search less and do more, and get away from some of the kind of ad-addicted kind of attention economy that's developed around search and many other things as a consequence of how search is framed, how we interact with the rest of the web. So we're going to keep working on, like I said, reorganizing the world's information, not around what kind of information it is or around advertisements and your attention, but more around what you're trying to do in the moment and building things into search that might actually surprise people that they don't actually think of as normally being part of search. Things like AI that helps you write essays and marketing copy, AI that helps you write code, generate images from text, things like this that as AI and every industry accelerates and search becomes fragmented, You.com can become a place where we reimagine search and what it can be doing for us.
And so what would you have to say for people who are afraid that this is going to lead to job losses in the market or something?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think a lot of AI could absolutely force us to transition and reskill, re-educate, and shift towards a different kind of labor, different kinds of jobs. And it's not necessarily going to be an easy thing to do. But ultimately, I hope that we're creating AI, including search, that allows people to just spend less time and energy on the things that they don't really want to be doing anyways. And they can spend more time on things that allow them to have more fulfilling lives, whether that's generating images late at night instead of, like working night shifts or something like that. If we can move more towards that, I think overall, I hope as a society and a community, we can navigate those tough transition points.
And what role do you think algorithms or artificial intelligence bots play when it comes to search engines?
Well, they're absolutely essential at this point. AI is pretty much the only way we know of right now. Different forms of AI, maybe whether they're large language models, inverted indices, and things like that. All of these really powerful statistical methods and all the different kinds of machine learning and algorithms we're developing are really crucial for finding what we're looking for when sometimes we don't quite know exactly what we're looking for in a world that's increasingly complicated and has a lot more information every day that we have to sift through. It's just not something that we'll really be able to do ourselves, and AI will have to be there to help us do it.
Right, so I'm going to repeat that question again, the previous one. What would you be doing in your life if not this?
I would be finding some other way to help people live happier and more fulfilling lives.